After working on some other people's boats, it was time for us to leave the safety of the industrial harbor for the open ocean. We predicted that we would encounter issues below the waterline, as we had been moored in the murky waters for some time. This is a familiar feeling, being out without an engine, near the harbor, on this coastline. I mean, we get what? We get about a knot out of the engine right now? Yeah, it's slipping, so the gearbox is slipping unless you put it at really low RPMs, and then we get like about a knot or two of speed, maybe a knot of speed, so we can maneuver to and from calm area, but we cannot motor to our destination. As expected, the wind and the current are in our face. We knew we'd have that problem when we came to this place. We knew that we'd have a little bit of trouble leaving because the wind and the current is always in that direction.
We came here. Why did we go straight?
Because we ran out of wind on the way here. Let's see our old line. Because the wind was dying and not in our favor on the way here.
Facing over here, the wind is
We tacked back and forth, barely making headway until we grew tired and the sun began to set. In the relatively clear water, we could see that the crustacean life was keen in Progresso. We had picked up more barnacles in a couple of weeks here than we had in the previous 6 months. The propeller was more encrusted than any other part of the hull, and we crossed our fingers hoping that this was the cause of our engine problems. We both jumped in the water and Robbie cleaned the propeller, and we didn't do an entire cleaning of the bottom because it's kind of getting dark, and I don't clean boat bottoms at night, although it would give us more speed, obviously. A quick lure in the water, and Robbie fetched me a small dinner before the sun finally set. I should have told you I was coming up. Aren't the sunsets really beautiful here all the time? At sunrise, we were happy to have a cleaner propeller, as we had to begin the day by motoring without a puff of wind. All the fishermen were rushing to their invisible favorite spots along the coastline. And Choco started his day in the usual way, chewing on a stick or a coconut. The traditional fishing method here along the Yucatan Peninsula during the season is to go out in a single panga, sometimes with a couple of smaller dinghies and a crew piled on top. They throw down the fishing lines that are spread wide by the long bamboo poles to catch octopus. So we sailed past some octopus fishermen and wind turbines on the land all day long, and into the next day until we neared a spot that I was excited to see again. Tiny crevice of a river on the shore, a narrow entrance that would only let us in if the tide was high enough. So So this was showing 1.5 a moment ago.
We call this entrance a Chili Willy.
Chili Willy.
The shrinker.
It looked as though we would make it in without incident, and today, plenty of bird life was there to greet us. We anchored along the river's edge, as far out of the way of fishing boat traffic as possible. As soon as we stepped foot on the bank, we saw signs of what was being eaten there. It was a pile of horseshoe crab shells. There's like little tiny hands inside.
Yes, they're like scorpions. They're the same family of the scorpion.
Did the other one have it?
No, they were eaten more thoroughly.
There's a lot of them.
Oh, they're still around. Take the dog?
But I love this place because of the rocking bird life. Sandpipers and sanderlings digging up meals along the beach. A lone flamingo set up shop right next to us as soon as we returned to the boat. Digging in the mud. The next day, another boat arrived, which interested us because we had never seen anyone else here in a keelboat. When the crew saw us, they eventually made their way in as well. We checked out all the major sites along this waterfront, the fun fish and other attractions such as the wreck.
See the wreck and then walk back.
Everything was removed.
The boat was stripped.
These are popular fishing spots where you will find local people, usually in the middle of the night, taking advantage of the ingoing and outgoing tides. Robbie, of course, didn't catch anything because he was out here in the middle of the day. What are you using?
Micro jig, but the hooks are pretty big. I'm out of micro hooks. I should just put a triple at the back. Big enough to rally if it shows up.
This is apparently a popular spot for sea turtles, too. I filmed the tracks of one lovely lady who must have made her way up onto the beach in the last couple of days to deposit eggs in a lumpy sand pile. I didn't dare to get closer though, fearing that I might stand on the eggs. A couple of days later, near that same spot, I saw a second set of fresher tracks from a newer sea turtle. A mile and a half up the river, we searched the small fishing town for water, ice, and snacks. The spot where we anchored is where it's at, though. Everyone hangs out there. The community takes pride in their beautiful beach, and we saw a crew out cleaning up some of the plastic we had seen earlier. We popped in and out of the harbor to find a clear, sandy spot to properly clean the barnacles off our bottom. After all, there is a reason why this is called the Lizard River. We didn't really want to dive in. But more than reptiles, we saw countless birds. It's more like Rio de Aves. white ibises, herons, and egrets. Ospreys and caracaras. While trying to find lunch for ourselves, we accidentally nearly bumped into some colorful creatures. The beautiful pink flamingos sifting in the mud for some shrimp. Around each corner of mangrove was another family of these impossibly skinny necks dunking their heads into the water for dinner.
Catch me a good old flamingo.
We reluctantly made our way out of the river one morning. Alongside the multitude of pangas heading out for their octopus. We came out from inside the harbor last night because high tide was in the middle of the night. We decided to come out before we would wake up early and it would be low tide and maybe we'd bump on our way out. See, sometimes it's nice. It's not all waves and scary stuff. We sailed until we spotted the shores of Holbox. We were apprehensive about entering into this anchorage, unsure of what the wide, shallow entry, open to the northerly wind, would look like. It wasn't entirely clear how accurate the charts in this area are, or if the sandbars had shifted. It did, in fact, seem like the sandbar had shifted slightly, but we never had less than 2 meters of water below our depth sounder at mid-tide.
I can almost do a little bit and then turn 90 degrees and go, but then I can see this area might be shallow, but right after it gets deep there.
Yeah.
I don't see 3 meters here, but behind this I see 3 meters.
We sailed right up to our sandy spot, pulled down the sails, and dropped anchor. And oh look, another pink cloud of flamingos, right before the sun went down. A ferry service runs from the mainland to the island of Holbox. We pulled up as close as we could to the town outside the ferry's path. The streets looked as though they had been recently flooded by a rain that somehow missed our sailboat.
Yeah, what are they boats?
What did you put? It's invisible. We didn't stay long, given the number of mosquito bites we had been accumulating along this coastline. The northerly wind continued to blow, and the exit from Holbox was a little bouncy. but nothing too concerning, as we never saw less than 2 meters of water below us.
Here comes a big wave. It builds up right in front here.
Yep, especially the northerly.
We continued on our way back towards that crystal clear blue water. We arrived at our destination in the dark. This was Isla Mujeres at sunrise. We had heard rumors online that the authorities had suddenly removed every anchored boat from this anchorage. A couple of vessels remained, however, because there is no reasonable or written law that dictates that boats cannot anchor here in the safety and shelter of this island. We had only been gone for a couple of weeks and so much seemed to have changed. Simply put, there is nowhere else to go within a day's distance of navigation, so we were going to stay here for now.
Pero hay una oportunidad. Si